Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
This is Ito.
And we are
The Carbonation Conversation.
The Witcher Season 2, Episode 5.
Turn your back.
Thanks for joining me for this episode. Definitely appreciate it. And I think we're going to do Episode 6. We're going to do that review?
Most likely.
Yeah,
yes.
Most likely. And then I'll probably do 7. And then you'll probably join me for the finale. But yeah. Shout out to Mo Beats, as always. If you like what you hear as far as the music in the background and the audio editing,
check out Mo
in the description below. Ooh, I like that. Happy New Beer.
Happy
we still
New Beer.
Drinking our Grolsch.
Our Holland beer, Grolsch.
Yeah, Grolsch. And we are talking about The Witcher. You want to open us up, Ito?
Sure. It starts off basically Geralt has been transported to Istrid, where he is, to so they can talk about the monolith or whatever.
Yeah, because
so
it's a lot of stellite.
Exactly. So he's trying to tell Istrid that the monsters were created from this stalagmite. Like, he just doesn't believe him.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, how about this? He just throws a decapitated monster head on the floor. He's like, what the hell? You know?
He's like, okay. And so they go out and...
Yeah, they go to Sintra to where Ciri basically destroyed that monolith and created that crack on the earth.
When Cahir was trying to take her.
Right, exactly. So an issue is like, it takes centuries just to make an indentation. And look at this big-ass crack. You know?
And Gerald is just like, oh, so we got to go down there.
Exactly.
And then they go down there, and basically at first they find nothing. But they are talking about this.
They've been talking about the conjunction, basically the colliding of the worlds and stuff. And he has a theory that the monoliths are what are they called?
Oh, conductors. Yeah, they call them conduits, though. But basically, they're conductors.
They're conductors between the worlds, between the realms, apparently.
And so he definitely believes, like, instead of the worlds colliding, they think basically, like, if you could imagine electricity hitting each one and each one and each one and each one, and then it may be activating and then pulling other monsters and everybody to the same world.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, Ciri, she's still doing her
little training thing with a little badass snapping and shit.
Exactly.
You running for her? Yeah, go.
And she is really conflicted, I feel like, because she does want to learn the magic, but she definitely wants to do the Witcher.
Yeah, she wants to be able to defend herself. So Triss and Vesemir basically start talking. Vesemir's like, you're not going to just ignore this, that we have a girl here with elder blood.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then Triss is like, there's no definite connection between elder blood and Witcher juice, basically, for lack of a better term.
Exactly.
But basically, he's just like, when Kamara was destroyed, so was the last chance of making any Witchers. And with this opportunity here, how can you not take it?
Yeah. By the way, the sack on Kaer Morhen obviously killed a lot of Witchers, when the humans basically betrayed them. But did you know Netflix has the Witcher cartoon? It's like a cartoon movie, and it's actually about that.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. One of the people that I follow mentioned that was like, oh, if you like what you heard on episode 5, you can always check out the animated cartoon movie. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know that. That was just something interesting. I was like, okay, that's pretty tripped out. Yeah. But it's cool. And so he's saying, like, he's trying to get Triss on his side. And he's just like, she's like, we shouldn't use her.
She is still a child. She's a living thing. You can't just be using her type of,
And he's just like, I'm hopeful. He's
and
like,
what would Geralt think?
Basically, that is very, very true. We all know what he would think. That's by the end of the episode. I was like, hurry up. Basically what Triss tells Vesemir is, I will help you as long as Ciri agrees to do it.
Exactly. Can't make her do it. She has to agree to do it. So, Triss decides to talk to Ciri and basically takes her on this little mental trip.
Yeah, but that's before we get into the mental trip, Vesemir does actually talk to her, and then she agrees to do it. And
that's right.
They drain her blood and everything. She seems.
She said, "I'll only do it if I'm the first one to gets tested on," type of thing.
And I love the flashbacks that Vesemir has. Like it's like, when he's actually doing the old young boys, and he's like, at first he's like,
he's like, no,
that's not.
He's like, when this was done before, it was scared little boys, and not even all of them survived because of how powerful this was.
Exactly, and he was like, and I can't do that because you're Gerald's child. Exactly. I was like, oh, look at Vesemir go. But Ciri makes a good point. She just wants to be able to defend herself. She wants to be able to help. So much shit has happened.
She wants to be like Geralt.
Exactly. And she convinces Vesemir. She's like, no, let's do this. And he agrees. Because he really wants to obviously have the formula again.
So him and Trish make the formula. Yep. And then he said, what did he say? Like, hope she's ready or something like that. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. He's like, huh? And he's like, the girl wants to be a Witcher. She's made her choice. Yeah. And clearly Trish is not happy about that because she did want to at least, Ciri hasn't even really dived in the magic and the chaos that Trish could show her, and Ciri has exhibited those type of powers. So who knows what she could do actually if she would listen to Trish. But like you said, she wants to be like Geralt. Yeah. But Trish actually gets Ciri, as you were saying, to at least agree before you do this.
But hear me out.
Hear me out. We can both go inside your mind.
Yeah,
right?
It was like a meditation type of trip.
And we can see what's getting you upset. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. Maybe some power that you don't know about. Maybe that
we
you
can
saw
see
when
where
you
this
were
power
a baby,
came from.
Some shit like that. And she takes her on this, I was about to say psychedelic ass trip because everybody's there. Basically.
Yeah, they get due to a bar, and everybody that she knows is in that bar.
Happy New Beer.
But no one sees them. Then she eventually sees her parents.
Yeah.
And her mother first. Sees her mother. Then the mother makes eye contact with her, and Trish is like, "Wait, this is not supposed to happen. Let's get out of here."
Talk and shit. I don't even know what she says, but she does start to speak.
She starts to say something, right?
She got that James Wan, I'm just exactly. It's just like like you said, Trish is like, this
is not supposed to happen.
Exactly. But they keep going.
So they keep going. Then they open the door and they see Ciri's mother and father.
Pavetta and Nandi, I think his name is. And they're
kind of talking, kind of arguing, apparently worried. Apparently, Ciri realizes this is the day that they die.
Yes, because apparently there's something that has to do with Ciri, or whether it's a story or legend, whatever it is.
They're saying, they'll kill you if they know the truth or something like that.
Did you see how your mama did?
Right, but it's destiny, and shit like that.
And that's definitely.
Then all of a sudden, they both look at Ciri again, and then Trish is tripping out again, and they go somewhere else again.
And then I think they go to a field, right? Yeah. I think the next one they go to
there's some field or forest. They just start walking.
The fiend weed, where the elder blood lay, elder blood when the blood spills.
Yes,
the fucking
the blooms, the flower blooms.
Yeah, the fiend weed, and they approach someone who looks like Ciri's mom.
But it turns out to be it's Laura Doran, who was an elven sage. And she was holding a baby.
Yes.
And I guess you're supposed to assume that was Ciri.
Yeah, she was just, talking. I wish I could have written everything that she said. I don't even. But, she's talking, but she's also wounded.
Yeah. She's wounded, and then Trish goes up to her to try and heal her.
As she did in the previous episode to help Ciri. And the chick just flips out,
basically
chokes her,
just grabs her by the throat, and exactly. And then despite that Trish is over here yelling for Siri does nothing to save her because she's listening to the prophecy, which is known as Iflin's prophecy, and watching as the sky turns red and you see a glimpse of the wild hunt.
Yeah, I was
what I mean?
Hey,
if you don't know what that is, you know what I mean?
We were funny. Like episode 1, you were like, I was like, I wonder if we're gonna see them. And you gave me that look like, hurry up and finish watching. Hurry up and finish watching.
So instead, she yells for Geralt. So that still lets some kind of vibration out.
Exactly.
And then knock them out of that. You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, Triss is freaking the fuck out.
Right.
Triss is like, basically, she called her the Antichrist. She was like, you are the goddamn child of death. Like, basically. And she was just freaking out.
We forgot to mention that when she saw the mother the second time, that she looked at her, she said, "What are you, child?" Yeah. And it was the voice that of this girl was hearing, Yennefer, that demon voice that all of them heard.
And I don't really do research on The Witcher, but I did do it. I was like, who the fuck is that? You know, the only name I have is like the Deathless Mother. But I will say it was the same Who Are You, Child when she was in the fucking forest when they had her drinking that shit. I was like, that Who Are You, Child, that specific shit got me. I was like, damn, isn't that when she was in the forest too? Other than that, I had no fucking clue. I was like, I wonder, do the lady in the forest. I remember even when Vesemir was talking to Ciri about the demon that they hate, like, this little knife killed some witcher who was fighting a demon in the forest. I'm like, oh, you guys are on the nose, huh? But anyways, they basically, like you're saying, the vibration basically rocks the foundation of where Istrid and Gerald are.
Yeah, so it goes to them, and then one of the a piece of the monolith just floats and like throws itself. Yeah, and then from that another monster's created, but it doesn't attack or nothing. It just ends up flying away.
Yeah, I thought it was going straight to
Of course, I thought so too.
Yeah, and Gerald, Istrid is like, okay, dude, clearly son, what the fuck is going on? And Gerard is just like, I need a point.
Right, I need you to send me home type of thing, right? Because he heard Siri.
Yeah, and meanwhile, after Triss total freak out, and she
when they wake back up, she's like, she's just going out like, you're the devil.
Yeah, exactly, and she's afraid to even, she don't even want to be touched by Siri.
So you're going to destroy all of us.
Exactly, that triggers Siri to just run straight to Vesemir.
Like, give me the injection.
Just like, let's do this. And it's about to go down. I was like, I want to see this shit. But who fucks it up? The same guy who killed the Kikimora when he wanted to feed his family in episode 1 when he was just trying to eat the deer. Geralt comes back and ruins it. I was like, oh, come on. And obviously, he comforts Ciri. He tells her she's enough. And, he's basically like her father at this point. It is sealed and dealed. He does really care for her, and he doesn't want to see her go through the same shit that he went through becoming a Witcher. And we don't know what is the result that could happen, especially with her ability. So
then we go back to Istrid, who he portals himself to Sintra to see the records and stuff, and finds out that the lineage for them stops at Fiona, which is the grandmother, isn't it?
I believe it is. Yeah. I do believe it is because I do remember Queen Calanthe talking to Pavetta after she displayed the shit, like, oh, it skipped me. Your grandmother
trying to say
had
something
the same
like
shit,
that, right?
So I assume that is
that the lineage stopped there, and no one knows where she came from.
Exactly.
So that was just kind of little
it's really, really interesting. I'm just like, so where are Gerard? Gerard seems like he's clearly done with Kara Morin at this point. He's bouncing, especially after what's just happened.
Oh yeah, he's like, get your shit, we leave.
I'm curious if he is going to Sintra. I'm really, really just curious if he is, because the world is pretty fucked up. And it's fucked up leading into Yennefer's story, because what we find out is the North has just straight said, fuck this shit. We don't know if any of you elves are spies.
Right.
It's like concentration camp type
that's
shit.
what it seems like.
You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to she's trying to decide on whether or not she's going to save Jaskier.
Well, that's basically what it is. Yeah, she ends up leaving the boat because she's like, I can't just let Jaskier, even though they had their differences, he's still a friend in her book. You know what I mean? So he leaves Jaskier to go save Jaskier, who was kidnapped by what's the guy's name? Rience.
Yeah, I was about to say Rience. I saw it, was like Rience.
And apparently he's been in prison for 10 years. Because he was a mage who used fire.
Yeah, and
that's outlawed, of course.
Control it too.
Exactly. So but another mage, Lydia, came and said, "Oh, I know a way to free you. But you gotta find this girl.
Exactly.
You gotta find Ciri. The White Knight's looking for her. White Knight's looking for her soon. Everybody's gonna be looking for her, but we want to get her first.
Yep.
He's like, I'm not interested in working for Nilfgaard. It's like, I don't work for Nilfgaard.
Exactly. I'm like, is it the Deathless Mother? Is it the Deathless Mother? But obviously, don't you ruin that for me.
I didn't say nothing.
But yeah, exactly. That he gets out. He finds himself in an inn because he hears Jaskier performing the greatest platinum record of all time. On the top of the billboards, burn, bitch, or burn.
Burn, butcher, burn.
And, that's so good, by the way. And he ends up capturing him, holding him hostage, and basically torturing the shit out of him.
Yennefer, meanwhile, wants to find him, so she hires a prostitute to go look for him. She doesn't find anything, but if he usually goes to a bar, just check the bars out, check the taverns.
Happy New Year.
So she eventually finds him in the basement being tortured. And so how she does it was she pretends she's drunk, gets in the guy's face. I've got no time for this,
awesome.
right? She snapped.
I didn't expect
she
that
snapped. He pushes her against the wall. I don't got time for this. Get out of here. And he lights the fire. She blows the liquor in his face that she's drinking on him, burns his damn half of his face up, grabs Jaskier, and they got out of there. Yeah. I was like, she snapped.
I know. I didn't even think about that. I was like, how's she gonna do this?
Exactly. She ain't got no magic. That's what Jaskier's like, open the portal. She's like, I can't. You know what I mean? At that time, they kind of separate. She sees the prostitute she hired, calling her over to thinking she's going to help her, but she turns her in to the police after she sees her wanted photo.
Yep, exactly.
And I need my money, type of shit. Fucking bitch.
Yeah, I was so upset. And then we have the Deathless Mother yet again saying, hey girl, how you doing there?
So when she's captured, Jaskier's trying to see if he can find a way, which is not going to happen. So he just hears, like you said, the Deathless Mother, like, hey, you want your power, right? You know what to do.
And you know what? At first I was like, okay, of course she's gonna say yes at this moment, because they're basically saying we're gonna kill you.
You did.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought all she honestly had to do was say yes, because it seems so more simple with French.
She had to say the same words.
And then she does, and then she's in the cabin again, and then the fucking bitch, that old bitch, says, in order for you to get your chaos back, you have to find this girl.
I know where you could get it from, and it shows him Ciri.
I could not.
I was like, I knew it. I already expected it. When I first saw it, I was like, it's going to be Ciri.
And I had no idea they were going there. I thought she was just going to give her power back, but at a cost. What is the cost? The only other thing that we did not mention was Geralt did find out that Yennefer was alive, because he talks to Istrid when they're
that's when he did that. That's when he found out. I
forgot about that. He does, and he finds out Yennefer is alive, so that's a fucking big deal. I'm shocked that him and Triss, like, you know what I'm saying, they're talking about the battle.
She doesn't mention it or nothing, right?
That was even more shocking to me.
The two men that are in love with her.
And before we get off, I do want to ask you, what do you think of Dijkstra? Because I think that plan with fucking Dara is horrible. Yeah. Like, how can you even think that an elf would trust you after all this shit?
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna brainwash Dara enough to, like, be a spy for you.
Yeah.
That was just weird.
I mean, it worked for a little bit, but then he was like, he snapped out, like, I can't do this.
Like it's just
he did enough for them. That's all that mattered to them.
Yeah.
But the show actually ends on, remember, Kahir.
Yeah.
Getting back to Nilfgaard and just surprised to see that Francesca and Frangilla and Francesca are basically like the ones in charge.
Frangilla looking good.
Right. They're like, what the hell? He's free. No one recognizes him and all that.
I will say, man, I don't know. I'm leaning half in Nilfgaard, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just like, you know what? One thing I did say previous episode was the conversation between Kahir and Yennefer when he straight told her, like, our king bowed before us before we bowed before him. And I could see that because Calanthe was shitting on him so badly when, you know, he was trying to marry Pavetta that he probably wouldn't want to treat nobody like how he felt.
Yeah.
Now, could you imagine this motherfucker? And he's gaining people, and obviously it looks horrible on our side because we're on the side of the fucking North right now. So now I'm just like, I don't know, man. I think the Nilfgaard is looking like the good guys in this motherfucker, but I digress. I don't fucking know. I'm pretty sure after I watch the next episode. No. I'm pretty sure after I watch the next episode.
You don't know.
And we review season 6 and some shit's gotta go down, and I can't wait. But, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I'm gonna do one more Happy New Year.
Yes, why not?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
We are
The Carbonation Conversation.
The Witcher Season 2, Episode 5. I don't know the name. You don't know the name.
We love you.
Peace.